What's up, ladies and gentlemen? How's it going, guys? Good morning. I'm just sitting here at my desk, putting in the numbers that I hate doing. I'm very bad on this kind of stuff. I always leave it to the last minute, and that's one of my downfalls. Not keeping up with my bookkeeping, which sort of is a pain in the ass, but I need to get better at it. So I'm learning a few little things, tips and tricks to help me get those numbers right and keep track of my moolah. So guys, the reason why I'm putting out this video today is I was having a chat yesterday with a freelance trainer on the circuit here in Dubai, and I've met him through the system, and basically he was like, I follow Streetwise, I follow what you guys do. How do you do it, and how have you got to where you have? And I guess let's touch on that a little bit. Is that I got here in 2006, started 2007, and I really didn't know what direction I wanted to go in. I knew that I wanted to do something sports related, something I guess fitness, in the fitness field. It didn't really matter what, I just wanted to be around sports. Growing up, always being active and playing sport, I guess that was a passion of mine. Now, cutting a long story short, back in the day, how I started this Streetwise thing, I trained Kung Fu martial arts for 12, 13 years of my life, as well as when I was a young pup. Dad enrolled us in karate for years and years, so but the Kung Fu was more of a street fight element, where it wasn't ring based, it was more street self-defense. So learning how to take on multiple opponents, weapons, this, that and the other. So a pretty black and white, brutal martial art, with a system that was just based on finishing somebody if under attack, obviously diffusing the situation first and foremost. But yeah, if you had to, it was finish first, you know what I mean? So I had that mentality in terms of the training was always hard, it was always straight to the point, and it was how we were trained. So I wanted to sort of bring that style of training. After looking around the market, there wasn't many people doing anything out here in that time frame of 2007. There was military boot camps, but again, they were just your run-of-the-mill, crawling up the sand, running up the sand, all that kind of stuff. So I brought this flavour of martial arts boot camps to Dubai. I started it. I didn't know if it was going to work. I got a few people that contacted me, and from that I sort of launched my own beach boot camps, which had the martial arts flavour to it. So I was teaching what I had been taught over those good 15 years, the basics, obviously adding fitness as an element to it. It wasn't just strict martial arts, and from that I progressively grew within the next 3 or 4 years, where people would see us on the beach. I think I started with 1, grew to 6, had a 12 group, and then from that I had multiple boot camps running on different days during the week. So that was where it all stemmed from. So I did a couple of years just hammering out boot camps. That's all I used to do, and then obviously from that, people would want one-on-one training. I used to go to their buildings or their houses or whatever it was to make them a little bit more comfortable. So I was, on the freelance circuit, I was traveling between, I remember having clients in Jebel Ali, which is, if you're not from Dubai, it's a fair distance, sort of on the span of Dubai. And furthest one I'd be going up to was Festival City way. So, traveling back and forth, and, I think the biggest thing now, after 13 years in the industry and aligning myself with a facility like 24 Fitness, and having my business that generates out of this gym, solely because I've made this my place. I've made it my home. I try to tell these young guys or people coming into the industry who are serious that it took me about 5 years to establish myself on the circuit, be seen in these buildings, have a presence so people would see me and be able to recognize me just via my face or the shirts I used to wear, because I started branding straight away. That was the biggest thing. I built a brand around me. It wasn't the other way, where I wanted to be known as the guy who was behind Streetwise. I didn't want that. I wanted the logo to be represented. I wanted those shirts or hats or whatever I was wearing at the time to be recognizable, and that's what I wanted people to recognize, not the trainer. So yeah, it took about 5 years for that to happen, and then I was able to sort of establish myself and grow a relationship with the owners of 24 Fitness, where I then became a partner. And from that, I can say that I had to make a big decision and lose clients that I used to travel to. I had to make that decision. I can't train you guys at your home anymore, but I can train you at the gym. Are you willing to try out our location? Some of them didn't want to do that because it was basically convenience factor, and that was fine, but I had to take that risk, and I did lose a lot of business at the start. So that sort of sucked, but you have to just keep pushing through that and go, well, you know what, hopefully I will find other people that fill that spot, and which I did. It took a while, but again, establishing yourself out of one place where I'm able to work 6 hours back to back with clients or groups here, where I couldn't do that. I could only do 6 hours all up on the road. So that was, money versus time, and obviously it doesn't make sense if you're driving around client to client. You can only get 6 or 7 done in a day. It's shattering. It's very tiring, and you're only limited to a certain amount of money. So yeah, my advice to anyone who is serious about getting into this industry is align yourself in a place, then market. Build a brand around your profile, not use your profile as a brand, because that won't last, and that's quick way to failure in this industry is by just using yourself as the main branding. Okay, because I tell you right now, people may not like your personality, may not like your look, and that can sway someone's decision on training with you. So the more now in 2019 content you put out regarding your brand and not yourself is the biggest key. Use your clients to brand. Use your clients as advertising. Show people what you can do for others and not what you can do for yourself, because at the end of the day, people don't care what you as a trainer look like. You're meant to look fit. You're in the industry, and that's judged by different ways, and I won't get into that now. But use your clients, show us what you've done, because basically you're an artist and they're your canvas. So that's my advice to you guys, and obviously you got to keep hammering. It's a thing. I'm 13 years here in Dubai in this industry, and every day is you keep hammering every day, so it never stops. It does get easier sometimes, but when it's your own business, you just got to keep pushing it uphill. So I'll leave it there, because these guys are going to interrupt my video by sitting behind me, and it's been 10 minutes. Sorry about that. And yeah, cool. So follow us on all our social media platforms, and we'll upload this link later. Peace.